So if you think about Egypt as a snapshot in 2016, where is Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's Egypt right now? I would say that it's relatively stable. The institutions of state are collaborating with one another. The opposition is very weak. Egypt has gotten a lot of political and financial support from its neighbors and other countries. But the outlook for Egypt and the outlook for Egyptian stability is not particularly encouraging. I would say the trajectory is bad. And a big part of that is that the Egyptian economy is weak. It's bound to get weaker. And Sisi faces a presidential election in 2018. So the opposition is weak at the moment. But when the opposition thinks, all right, 2 years from now, there's going to be a presidential election, and there's going to be an economy that's weak, that gives us an opportunity to build up to that next 2 years, to be able to tell the Egyptian public, this man has failed. So I would say that the outlook for Egyptian stability is certainly not very positive. I'd say that Sisi's popularity has certainly dipped over the last couple of years. When we think about when Sisi took power in 2014 and think about his popularity at the time, he was very popular. A large portion of the Egyptian population thought, this is a man who rescued Egypt from the Muslim Brotherhood, right? When you get to 2016, Sisi's popularity has dipped because since then, he's really done very little to boost that political capital that he had in 2014. The challenges that the country faces are intensifying, and his government is unable really to respond to any of them. So I think this is an interesting time for Egypt because historically Egypt was a regional leader, right? You look at Nasser, you look at people like Sadat, you even look at early Mubarak. Until the first Gulf War in 1991, Egypt was a regional leader. It hasn't been for the last couple of decades. One thing that Sisi wants to do is he wants to change that. He wants Egypt to be back in the position of a regional leader. The problem I think that Sisi faces is that in his attempt to do that, he doesn't realize that Egypt's primary weakness is economic. So for Egypt to be able to project regional power, it needs economic strength. And that's something that's very difficult for Egypt to do right now because it is largely dependent on assistance from Saudi Arabia, from the UAE, from the United States. So I'd say that currently Egypt's role in the region is somewhat improved, but still much less important than some of the other countries in the region. The outlook for Egypt is actually quite negative because when you look at what's happening in the country right now and you look at the challenges that the country faces and you look at the leadership structure and you look at the people who are tasked with addressing the problems that Egypt faces, there's a misalignment there. So I don't think that the outlook for Egypt is particularly encouraging over the next few years.